You may be wondering, where the heck has South Park been? Well, there is a gigantic mess going on behind the scenes between Comedy Central and Paramount and all these people who are fighting over South Park. And it has now led to yet another delay. And Matt and Trey have finally had enough, and they issued a statement as to what exactly is going on. Why aren't there new episodes of South Park? And it turns out they put this out from their official account. In response to the press release from Comedy Central about the change in premiere date for South Park, Trey Parker and Matt Stone said, "This merger is an ish show, and it's effing up South Park. We're at the studio working on new episodes, and we hope the fans get to see them somehow." By the way, probably a good time to remind you of a wonderful sponsor I have, and that's Private Internet Access, a VPN. Check this out. Shout out to this video's sponsor, Private Internet Access. Look, if you aren't using a VPN yet, you're completely missing out, and Private Internet Access is the one I use on all of my devices. If you've been following the news, you see that censorship, websites, apps are getting shut down in certain countries, all sorts of craziness. Well, a VPN helps you never have to worry about that. Private Internet Access also protects you from the prying eyes of hackers, internet service providers, and others that can view your personal data. Perhaps also just as importantly, Private Internet Access allows you to access region-restricted content from all over the world. Streaming services like Netflix, Amazon Prime, and more have different library options based on where you're located, and some shows simply cannot be accessed if you're not in the target location. Happens to me all the time. Many sports events also have regional blackouts. Well, VPNs can be a convenient way to make sure you're getting the content that you're paying for. Private Internet Access also allows you to protect an unlimited amount of devices all at the same time, so your entire household with a single subscription. And I've been working with Private Internet Access so long that I have an absolutely massive discount available to my viewers. Link in the description below. Get Private Internet Access today using my link. Save huge, protect your computers, access all the content that you've been paying for, and ensure that your internet is never censored. Now, you see in the comments, weirdly, people are angry saying, "Who cares? South Park is irrelevant and jumped the shark years ago." Why would you say that? And you follow me. That's bizarre. But look at the backlash. Nobody has legitimately had a good time watching South Park episodes in at least 10 years now, so just get to it when you can get to it. Go to a new network. I bet Netflix would love to have you. I mean, at this point, why is this show still under a major production company? Why even have publishing and distribution when you could take your studio straight to the people online? I don't disagree with that. Honestly, Matt and Trey need to fix the 6 episodes per season BS. That's what's killing South Park. If the Fox Animation Studios can dish out like 20 episodes a year, then there's no reason South Park can't do the same like back in the day when animation wasn't digital. You get a lot of angry people. Just wish it was like 10 episodes and not such a short season. Start near the end of July, 2 episodes a month, and go till the end of November. Aren't Matt and Trey basically billionaires at this point? Why not just put the shows out on your website like you used to? This isn't really necessary. So fans are pretty pissed off, and I'm not sure. Look, I get it that South Park isn't quite as exciting as it used to be. I mean, Into the Panderverse was pretty good. I never even watched their pandemic special because I didn't want to the last thing I wanted was more pandemic content kind of thing. But I don't know that I would say it's completely irrelevant when they're on. It's been a while since they were kind of really crushing it. And maybe that's, I just watched the reruns back when they were very good. And maybe that's why I still hold the show in such high regard. However, Paramount won't say why South Park is delayed, but Trey Parker and Matt Stone have a theory. The South Park creators did not mince words over the sudden postponement. South Park fans are going to have to wait another couple of weeks longer than they were promised to see the season 27 premiere. The show's creators have urged us not to blame the creative team for the delay. We shouldn't even blame Canada. Earlier this morning, just 1 week before the planned release of the first episode from South Park season 27, Comedy Central quietly announced that they have pushed back the season premiere to Wednesday, July 23rd. So that's 3 weeks from now. The Paramount Global-owned channel declined to go into detail about the specifics of the move, but seeing as the news just broke that Paramount agreed to pay President Donald Trump $16 million to drop his lawsuit against 60 Minutes amidst the company's ongoing efforts to push a merger with Skydance Media through Trump's FCC, perhaps the Paramount PR department had more pressing matters to address than the cartoon's release schedule. So they're saying it's Donald Trump's fault that South Park is delayed. At least that's what cracked.com is saying, which is, a leftoid website, just like any of these, news outlets. But interestingly, they wrote, thankfully, South Park creators Trey Parker and Matt Sona recently sent a strongly worded legal threat to both Paramount and Skydance, alleging interference in their negotiation with other platforms over the coveted South Park streaming rights. Had ample time to discuss the delay of official South Park Twitter page, because unlike Paramount, Parker and Sone are actually accountable and on schedule. So they put out that thing we put out, that I just read. South Park fans will know well that the show's previous production cycle, Parker and Sone would habitually finish each South Park episode just minutes before it was scheduled to premiere, and the pair's reputation from the lauded 2011 Comedy Central documentary 6 Days to Air likely had something to do with their swift response to the delay. So no, Parker and Sone's notoriously stressful creative process and time management skills are not responsible for the delay. According to the South Park creators, it's more BS from their corporate overlords and prospective new patrons that are getting in the way of South Park Season 27. However, given that Parker, Stone, and the entire South Park team now have an extra 2 weeks to fine-tune the new season, perhaps the rain check will give them time to tack on an extra storyline at the end of the criminally short 6-episode season. If Paramount and Skydance didn't like the letter from Parker and Stone's lawyer, they're really going to hate what the duo does to them in South Park, The Streaming Wars Part 3. Yeah, I mean, I get why they want to, move South Park off of Comedy Central. Comedy Central is holding on to, or their company, who owns them, Paramount, is desperate to. They know that the only chip they have is South Park. They know that. Who watches The Daily Show? Who's even hosting The Daily Show anymore? Do you know? I don't know. Some random unfunny loser who's like, Trump's orange, am I right? South Park has been the only reason people have paid for Comedy Central for the past 10 years, roughly. And it's going to be interesting to see how this shakes out. You see here, originally scheduled for July 9th, the new season of Long Range Cartoon is now set to premiere July 23rd. Since October, here's some more information. The delay comes amid the long-pending $8 billion merger between Paramount Global and Skydance. Since October 2019, so that's 6 years ago almost, HBO Max has had the exclusive streaming rights to the series. But that deal expired last month. Now South Park streaming rights are being shopped to other platforms, with HBO Max parent Warner Brothers Discovery and Netflix both reportedly making bids. But Parker and Stone have accused incoming Paramount president Jeff Shell of interfering in their contract negotiations with those streaming platforms. Following the news of the postponement, they released a statement. Back in 2021, Paramount paid the show's creators $900 million for a deal that included new episodes and movies for South Park series. And so far, that deal has yielded 7 South Park exclusive events that are available only on Paramount Plus. So they paid $125 million an episode. Let me repeat that. Paramount ended up paying $125, actually, wait, 7, well, a little less. A little more than $125 million an episode for just 7 episodes. That's probably why Paramount is trying to milk this. You know what I mean? I miss the days of 20, 30 episodes in a season and having a new season come out, every year on time. I can't stand this year or 2 years or 2 to 3 years in between new seasons. the 6 episodes per season, you can't even get any, you can't build any momentum. You can't build any steam that way. And like, I don't know why people are so pissed off at South Park. I guess maybe it's that I haven't been watching it either. Like, obviously, I covered Into the Panderverse, and I thought that was funny. And it was topical with my channel because I cover, Disney, Marvel, and all their pandering. But, like, I'm not mad at a show that's been going on for 27 years. I mean, it's been on since I was in high school. And, like, might have been before high school. When was I a freshman? I mean, it's been going on a very, very long time. Shows like South Park and like The Simpsons are probably in their zombie years anyway. I don't really know what's left to be said, but yeah, Trey Parker and Matt Stone, both billionaires, about to be getting probably another billion or more dollars. This is wild. This whole thing could get messy. It appears that South Park is being held hostage. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to leave a like on it. If you haven't yet, please subscribe or follow down below. We'll talk to you again real soon.